the Lions team and will not yield. And when the blue and silver wave, stand and cheer the brave. Rah, rah, rah. Go hard, win the game. With honor we will keep our fight. Down the field and gain a Lion victory. Go Lions!
Man. Look, I see him a lot, and I know him in person, and Crack's a great guy, but I worry about how red that man's face gets, like about his blood pressure.
Bro, when he sings a song, like he's like losing his like you hear it,
and he works out a lot too. Like if you follow him on social media, he'll ride his like bike like 20, 30 some miles. So he's in shape for an older cat. Like I give him his credit, but he worries me with the blood pressure though, because his face looks like the color of my Pistons hoodie sometimes. Like, man, gets me worried.
He gets lit, man. Do you ever think he thought like that shit would escalate to where he's at now? Like he's got like a whole like following and shit.
So him and his old buddy Donnie, the Uper man, rest in peace. He passed away a couple years ago. I can't remember how many, but him. So Crack and then a woman named Megan. So Donnie's daughter. So they drive that bus. Have you ever seen their like bus they drive?
Yeah, because I think I went to high school for a minute at a place like near him.
Oh yeah, where's he? He's up there.
North Ave, I think, or maybe not.
I don't know. I think he lives like damn near like up by the Yoop. To be honest, I don't know though. I can't tell you the truth. My fiance delivers beer right now until she graduates nursing school from Wayne State in like a couple more weeks, and she's driven by his house before, and she like sent me a picture. So
okay, he's up north
as well. It's up there. Yeah, she drives all over the place, but yeah, I mean he's the man though. Shout out to Crack.
He's the fucking man. Yeah, I know a big blue bus. You're talking about.
It's like there's a custom hood. It's actually pretty dope, and it has a custom paint job of Crack and then Donnie, the Uper man.
I don't remember Uper man. I remember Crack man.
So so Uper man, he wore what are those hats called? Stormy Cromer. Some Uper's gonna yell at me because I'm getting this wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's called a Stormy Cromer. But yeah, they're just legends up there. I mean, they drive a long way too, man. Like Megan drives like 300 some miles to come. I drive like 4 miles. I act like I got to drive. I'm like, God, here we go, man. Come on. So.
Speaking of, here we go, man. Come on. Let's how I feel about this game. Actually, real quick, because I already told you I had a busy ass weekend. First and foremost, rest in peace to those who lost their lives at Oxford High School, and honestly, pray for everyone who was affected by it. This was crazy, but it's been a weird, crazy week for me. I've been missing a lot of Lions news, man. I'm kind of hoping you fill me in. I know DeAndre Swift is hurt. I know he's out, it looks like. But I read something that he could play, but they're holding him out. The doctors are.
It sounds like it's pretty painful. It sounds like he's going to be out for a couple weeks from what I've gathered. And what else news-wise? Penei Sewell had an illness, but he's better already. He was limited to get today again. It doesn't look like Trey Flowers is going to play. He's missed like eight practices in a row now. Might get Ifeatu Melifonwu back. I don't know about maybe this week, next week. I'd have to go and look at that again. To be honest,
I think I did see that too. I think I either seen or heard it from here that he's
going to start. Yeah, well, because they asked. I think Justin Rogers asked about Jerry Jeudy and how that would affect him, and Dan Campbell is Jerry Jacobs. He asked, and he said no. Jerry Jacobs is going to remain on the outside, like where he's been. So not a lot news-wise, man. It doesn't sound like we're going to see DeAndre Swift for a little while, though. Maybe a couple weeks.
Which, like, honestly, now I want to watch him play because he's a dog. But like, I'm not tripping. We're not fucking.
No, I mean
this year, you know.
No, and you don't want to do any long-term damage, which I get, in a year where you're already 0-10-1. But man, this offense is going to be especially toothless without,
Yeah.
without Swift.
Yeah, because the thing too is like Jamal can run, hard run. You see, he's really only broken off that one big run, which was last week. Other than that, he's kind of like, I don't know. I feel like we haven't ever seen him gash anybody yet.
Talking about Jamal, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jamal's definitely more of a chain mover. He doesn't have the shiftiness and space that Swift necessarily like that Swift has. Jamal's more of like a one cut, get downhill. He'll make some people miss, and he's obviously a powerful runner. He's going to run, with behind his pads, and he's going to make, he's going to earn. People got to tackle him. He's going to run through arm tackles. So yeah, Swift has been the offense this season, no doubt. Though that's why I'm pretty concerned. We can get into more of the offense and why I'm concerned with Dan Campbell and a couple other things, but yeah. Ugh.
Go for it.
I almost think he should go back, and it's gonna be tough, but maybe give play calling duties back to Anthony Lynn, just because things have been tougher since he took things on. Jamal is nice, but he's nice as a compliment guy. Yeah, I agree. I don't really think you want Jamal to be your guy who's going to get 20, 30 touches, but maybe I'm wrong. I really like Jamal Williams, but I agree with what he said below just there. And then, Dan Campbell, he's already a rookie head coach. We have a lot of guys in roles for the first time. Like, this is the first time Aaron Glenn's been a defensive coordinator, and so on and so forth. And I do think that he should just give play calling back to Anthony Lynn for the rest of the year. Let Anthony Lynn call plays from up in the booth, because that's where Anthony Lynn's been. He's been up in the booth.
Yeah.
And Dan Campbell can get back to just like clock management, because it's a lot, man. It is like some of these, the only coaches that are really calling their own games and like having success with it, and then doing the other aspects of game management too, like clock management, your timeouts, all that good stuff. Those guys are the ones that have been doing it a while. The Sean Paytons, the Belichicks to an extent. Pete Carroll, shit like that.
Does McVay call his own plays?
I think McVay calls the offense. So yeah, but he screwed up time management last week too. Like did
he really?
He did. Oh my God, yeah.
I stopped watching the fourth. I'm like, this game's over.
McVay was getting flamed. No, those. Some stupid. I mean, clock management. People kind of forget, and I don't know if they forget, but they don't realize like clock management's bad everywhere, man. Everyone sucks at it. Like even the GOATs screw it up sometimes. Like it's just one of those things.
Yeah. I mean, all right. So how do you feel about that from Thanksgiving game? Because obviously saw on TV, it was Aaron Glenn was the one that was freaking out, rushing over, was saying tapping away, like. Are you as harsh with Dan Campbell with that topic? I guess the time management and everything else.
I mean, no, it's just it's a combination of things. It's like Will Harris was the culprit there, and not culprit. That sounds bad. He was the one that they were jumping up and down about, though, because I don't know if you saw today, but Aaron Glenn in his presser basically jumped on the grenade for Will Harris, because. Like they came out of that timeout, and Will Harris was drafted out of Boston College as a safety. And now just with, how thin they are and how decimated they are at corner, he's playing their nickel corner because AJ Parker is out, who's an undrafted rookie. Anyways, but yeah, they're having Will Harris there, and they come out of that timeout, and I guess Aaron Glenn more or less said, I didn't specify to Will Harris that he needed to be in press. But I guess, I should have. That was my fault for not, telling him that again. But at the end of the day, these guys are professionals. It's third and whatever it was for. Like, you can't be that far off. Like, that's not how that's going to go. So,
yeah.
It's a combination of things, man. The personnel stinks. Like, I'm not saying it sucks that I wish Will Harris the best, but it's not working out. He's been here a bit now. He's not good at safety. He's not good at corner. This isn't a safe place for Stafford fans. Hey, I'm a Stafford fan, man, but I also know that Stafford has his warts. So, and we're seeing them. Campbell has shown he's not a play caller so far. I agree. Let Lynn call the plays. Yeah, I mean, Campbell could be a play caller in the future. there's things that could be happening, but he's a rookie head coach right now. Just delegate, man. Just delegate. This is tough. It's tough enough as it is. If you want to call a play here or there, go nuts. But let Anthony Lynn have the green dot back. That's what I think.
What up, though, Zach? Yeah, because with that whole situation, I didn't know that it was Will Harris. A surprise. I find myself disappointed with him almost every week.
God, I know.
I thought it was that linebacker who came in. I don't know his name. Do you know his name by chance? Because I remember Tracy Walker had a friendly fire on our guy Derek Barnes, and then UDA come in for the linebacker position. That's where I thought miscommunication was. But do you know who that kid's name is, though? Is he playing this week? What's going on with those guys?
A linebacker came in for Derek Barnes.
Yeah, because remember Tracy Walker fucking knocked out Derek Barnes?
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, because Jalen Reeves-Maben got hurt, and then Derek Barnes got hurt.
Yeah.
Who was it? I can pull it up here in a second. But he was I want to say maybe it was Josh Woods, which is wild. Because, I mean, that's another position. We have so many needs. I was listening to, I don't know if you follow Kent Lee Platty, Math Bomb.
So someone's in here the chat last night commenting at us about him.
He's the best.
Saying, is he?
Yeah. I mean, he knows his draft shit better. Yeah, I mean, and I'm pretty sure, I'm fairly
Josh
certain
Woods, yeah,
it was Josh Woods. So yeah, Josh Woods shouldn't be playing linebacker for your team if you want to play good defense, but that's okay. It's the nature of the beast right now.
Do you know if Derek Barnes is going to go play this Sunday?
I don't know if I saw him on the. Let's see. This is the benefit of having a couple screens in here.
Yes, sir. I'm reaching these comments. We're looking for that. Say, hey, can I ask why no one's calling out Antoine Randall L for his receivers not stepping up?
I feel you, Lunky Funky Lions fan, but man, the personnel is just tough. Like if it's next year and this unit stinks when there's a first rounder in there and like a free agent, then I feel like we can talk about Antoine Randall L. But man, like
they have dropped some balls, but like some of that shit is like, I mean, I guess I can't speak on that if it's coaching or not, but like I feel like some of that shit is just like on the athlete at that point.
Derek Barnes was not. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's how I feel. Easy. Derek Barnes was not on the injury report, so that's good. No practice. DeAndre Swift, Jalen Reeves-Maben, Trey Flowers, Bobby Price. So that's tough for our special teams. Limited. Sewell, Kadarrell Hodge. They were both just battling an illness, non-COVID related. Matt Nelson and Michael Brockers. And then Vitae, full practice. Trinity Benson, full practice. So that's not terrible. We're not seeing Dalvin Cook this weekend. So
yeah, I'm not seeing Dalvin Cook. Well, I do hope that Nelson's able to play because
it helps having the swing tackle. Yeah.
Those jumbo sets.
Things are good when Matt Nelson's your third tackle. Just you don't want him to be your right tackle typically.
Facts. I think
that's
so.
Why
that one time you said it's like a carousel.
Yeah, dude, you're just gonna. That's what I was telling people. If the Lions were to trade Decker, then one of these high picks they have in this coming draft, they're just going to have to use that to draft a right tackle.
It would make no sense. It would make no fucking sense.
You just want to keep both, man. Decker's under a good contract. Yeah. He wants to be here. I love that Decker got pissed off the other day at the media, or not at the media, but he just was like,
me too.
He's like, yeah, I didn't like that shit.
No, yeah, people was like. D-Mac was upset about it. He was like, he should be focused in the field, which I agree with. But I understand where he's coming from too. It's like, bro, like,
you're gonna do.
We're just talking from the outside. This dude went through a whole training camp where rookie didn't beat him out. That's why he plays right tackle, not left tackle. Come on now.
Well, I loved what Decker said too, because like he's like I had to answer like texts from my parents like, "Are you getting traded?" Like. And he's like, no, I don't think so. Decker likes being here, man, and that's something I never really take for granted. Being a Detroiter and everything, like we suck right now. The Lions are not good. It's not fun to be a Detroit Lion right now, and if he still wants to be here, his deal's good. Obviously, like he makes some good bread, but if he wants to be here, I shoot. It's like Jeremy
He's fucking-
Grant. It's the same.
he's solid too.
Yeah, exactly. And he's a top 20 tackle in the NFL.
Mm-hmm. I want to say one more thing about this comment too about the beyond Antoine Randall for his receivers not stepping up. Like you have Jared Goff, who's 21 or 24, if I'm not mistaken, for like 171 yards. Like he's not throwing the ball down the field. These receivers don't even have a fucking opportunity or chance to step up. Or, you know what I'm saying? Present an opportunity.
I feel like yeah. Oh, go ahead.
No, I mean, no, they could be interceptions. And like, I remember Dan Campbell saying that after the Thanksgiving game, which sure, whatever. But at this point, I'm just so fucking tired of seeing that ball not fly more than 5 yards.
I know, man.
It's just driving me crazy.
I think I've said it a couple of times on my on different articles, but it's been so difficult to evaluate Antoine Randall as a coach, Amon-Ra St. Brown as a receiver, you know, like because he's going to be here, right? He's a draft pick, like he'll be on the roster next year, but outside of that, like maybe Khalif Raymond's still here next year if they like him enough.
I like him.
I like Khalif Raymond. If Khalif Raymond is your receiver 4, that's fine. That's fine. You're in a good shape. If Khalif Raymond's your kick returner,
that's good.
And your receiver 4, we're good. But he does not. It does not need to be your starting X. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, we have so many needs, but honestly, some of these guys are like really good depth players in the future. I agree. And the dope part about that is the majority of these guys are young. So we got some longevity and some savings.
And we're fine. And as terrible as the season's been, like we're finding some little gems, right? Like Jerry Jacobs, Evan Brown, man, Evan Brown.
Yeah, what the fuck? And we just paid this dude all this goddamn money. And Evan Brown, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I haven't even noticed that Ragnar's gone. Am I tripping?
A little. Ragnar's crazy. Like he would elevate things a good. Like Evan Brown's been passable.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, Ragnow is like the second best center in football. Like, if it would be more, if Ragnow is an average center, I would be like, that's where I would be like, okay. But I also love offensive line play, and
that's why. That's why I'm happy to ask
Ragnow is that dude. Ragnow is that dude, man. He's so athletic. Like, when Ragnow's healthy next year, the Lions could start doing crazy shit, like running power to the right side and having Ragnow and Penei Sewell pull. Like,
man,
and both those dudes can, like, they're zebras for being like Frank. I think is like at 300 pounds, like, or like 295.
I've never seen a center pull. That's fucking.
Frank, and that's why he got drafted in the first round, because that man's like a crazy athlete. Frank Ragnow, yeah.
Those are the days.
What'd you say now?
Oh, I was saying crackback, just fucking someone. I remember a pole plays in high school. Just fucking literally knocking the snot out of fucking people, man. They get up,
man. Yep. I love offensive line plays. But yeah, next year when, because Vitai's been good, but he's on an expensive contract. I wonder if exactly, Funky Lions fan. That's what I was thinking about too, man. Is if Evan Brown could play a little right guard. That remains to be seen, but that would be nice, because then you could have, it would go Decker, Jonah, Frank, Evan Brown, Penei. Pretty good.
At this point, man, I still give Hank Fraley his fucking credit, bro. Like, goddamn, he is a good offensive line coach. For this to be the case,
he's one of my favorite position coaches the Lions have right now. I really like him. I really like Aubrey Pleasant. I do like Antoine. I think Antoine Randall, if I'm doing like a hot take prediction, like Antoine Randall is going to end up being the Lions offensive coordinator. Maybe next year. Who knows? Because Anthony Lynn might now. I don't know. Did you hear Anthony Lynn's comments today, by the way? I know I'm going all over the place, but
no. So that's what I was listening to before you hopped on. I was just starting to listen to him. He said something about Tuesday, obviously, and then they start talking about Godwin, which actually is a question for me too. We actually discussed before. What did he say? What did I miss up?
Oh, so ask me the Godwin thing. He said basically, someone asked him if he was comfortable with his role, like with what with Dan calling plays, and he said, "I'm comfortable, but don't necessarily mistake being comfortable for me liking it." And I thought that was pretty telling. I mean, because I really like Anthony Lynn. Like, I don't know, I really love Hard Knocks. Like when he was on the Chargers were on Hard Knocks like a couple years ago, and kind of got into an insight of like what kind of dude he was, and he just seems like a football dude. He was based in his barbecue with like, you know how it is, like these old heads will have like a plastic fork and then they just wrap like a napkin around it and then just base like, I'm like, man, get yourself an actual, like, come on, you're a millionaire. But so I really like Anthony Lynn, but yeah, I thought that was really telling because I think he's probably gonna be one and done, bro. So maybe Antoine Randall, maybe Deuce Staley be offensive coordinator.
That's why I was going to ask, because from my understanding, because he did one of those lateral movements where he's stayed the running back coach. But
well, no, he got because he's assistant head coach.
Okay, so
that's
why role that Dan Campbell was last year
with New Orleans, yeah, because that's the only reason. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been able to make a lateral move. The Lions couldn't do that.
So is he not a running backs coach as well for us, or just?
No, he's the running backs coach, but he's also the assistant head coach. Like yeah.
So what the fuck? Like, what is that role? You know, I'm actually Googling it right now too.
So he is in on a lot of what Campbell does. So like leads. Oh, you're good. Leads meetings, you know, like things of that nature. Like he's in there, like basically he's doing with Deuce Staley what Sean Payton did with him.
Yeah.
Is what Dan Campbell basically
said. I didn't know what the fuck he was really doing with Sean Payton. You know what I'm saying?
So like
on Google, this is what it says on Google. It says the responsibility is to act as the enforcers of the plan set forth by the head coach. So I mean,
yeah, you're kind of like second. You know, you're like the assistant to the CEO, I guess. Like, okay, and then like from what I understood, like a lot of times, like Dan Campbell would lead meetings in New Orleans, like if. You know, maybe like the morning one, Sean Payton's like, hey, I don't want to get into the building at 7 a.m. Like, you got that one, you know, like that type of shit. Maybe, I don't know, but damn, I wish we could see a Hard Knocks though. Man, maybe the Lions will be on Hard Knocks next year. I'm almost like ready for it. I've always been.
Oh yeah, because Dan Campbell's there now. They're gonna want him for sure.
And there'd be a lot of intrigue because the Lions are essentially almost guaranteed the number 1 overall pick. So that's fun. We're gonna talk about the number 1 overall pick for like 5 months.
Fucking.
I was leaning towards Deuce getting the promo. Yeah, I mean, I would be with Deuce getting a shot or Antoine Randall getting a shot, to be honest with you. Either one.
I forgot to ask.
Let's get some former players get a shot.
Yeah, I was leaning more towards Deuce too. What about Antoine Randall? Like, where's that come from?
Why? About him? Well, I mean, his background's interesting, obviously, as a former player. Yeah, and then a lot of times these receivers have, you know, good concepts. Like in my opinion, I don't know. I think Dan Campbell said this week, but the tight ends coach Ben Johnson has been helping him a lot with the passing game.
Really?
So. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it really just depends on what the Lions do in the draft this year too, and free agency and all that shit too. Because like, I don't know. I don't know.
I can tell you for damn sure. I know some people are baking on it, and I don't even want to see their fucking comments come draft time. And I apologize if you maybe want, but the wide receiver group, just the wide receiver group. I hope they're like prepared to know like that this guy takes them late. From last year, especially. I realize that they don't really prioritize wide receivers in this offense.
Well, I
as an organization,
I think they will. I think what happened was when they like
Brad Holmes knew.
I think they're gonna address probably receiver with the Rams pick or the 33rd overall pick, the Lions' 2nd round pick. And I think there would be good value there. Like I hope one of the Ohio State receivers is there. That would be just tremendous. Like Olave, I would do a backflip, and I can't do a backflip. I really think this year, like receiver, they had to gamble and they had to go cheap because Brad Holmes knew they were going to be in cap hell, right? Because they just had to get rid of all those bad Matt Patricia contracts. And he did it all at once. I give him credit for that. Like he did every damn contract he could, minus Vitae and Trey Flowers, because those ones you couldn't cut yet, just because it didn't fiscally make sense. And he did it all. So receiver, they gambled and they failed, man. I will say he missed on his gambles because Tyrell Williams, no fault to his own, but he just got an injury settlement. He's done with the Lions, most likely. Rashad Perriman has gotten cut by a couple of teams, I'm pretty sure, since the Lions.
Chicago picked him back up, I think. Yeah.
And it's not like Chicago's receiver room is dynamite right now either, besides Allen Robinson. Mooney's pretty good. But yeah, I receiver was just one of the areas they had to skimp on. Now,
the trade from a man from Denver too, who's not getting no PT.
No, I know, and that's kind of a miss
Trendy
too.
Benson.
But I'm not really tripping. Like it's a 6th round. Like I'm like, that's where I don't really start. Like, unless they like make a habit of it, I don't really get mad about that. This is a huge offseason though, because while the Lions aren't going to have a ton of money to spend, like a ton, they're going to have a lot more than they had this past year, which is basically zilch, right? So in my opinion, they're going to, before the draft, they're going to adjust, like they're going to probably go after like a decent sized free agent receiver. They're going to address some of these holes, and then they're going to have their first overall pick, the Rams pick, the 33rd overall pick. And then they're probably going to have 2 3rd-round picks because their original 3rd and then a comp pick, right? So that's 5 picks.
I think they have like 2 comp picks too. One from
that'll probably be a 4th. I think that'll be a 4th. I'm pretty sure, but I believe they'll have 5 within the first 3 rounds. And if you can turn those into 5 starters right away, then that's how you can get good, pretty quickly here. Get a lot better. Maybe we could win. The Lions could win 7-8 games next year, and we could get wild.
And I want to say like I have like confidence in them to do that because of this year, but I also realize that this year we're just so thin,
so undermanned. Yeah.
Yes, that these kind of guys.
Like I told you, man.
To start. That's
what I'm saying. Like it's tough. They don't have the horses. Like that's really what it boils down to.
And so part of it too is like I get to his rookie year, so like actually I'll probably just throw this off window completely because the dudes that are starting they're obviously not producing. But again, rookie year, Jared Goff,
it's tough to evaluate. I will see. It's just tough to evaluate how anything in the passing game right now. What are you on? Are you on Over the Cap right now?
Spot Track. Should I go on Over
Spot
the Cap?
Track.
Is that better?
No, this is good. I'm trying to see where you're at right here. So 2022 salary cap. Yeah, what's the estimated cap space? Okay, so 40 million.
40 million.
Roughly, that's all going to be total 150. It'll go up a little. Yeah, so they'll have a little bit to spend.
40
and some of these, like Trey Flowers, I have to look again, but like Trey Vitae, he'll be a cap casualty just because his contract doesn't. He's played fine this year. It's just not going to make sense from a money standpoint.
How much is it? Is he getting paid?
He makes like 10 mil. Let's see here.
I'm looking at free agents. So like, all right, so I agree. I think if we draft a receiver, I want it to be at least that 2nd round. Or I wouldn't be mad if it was a Rams pick if like the only shit that makes me not mad is the fact like Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase are fucking dogs, and they're both late round first picks or first round late picks, and like that's
why I want one of the
So,
that's why I want one of those Ohio State receivers, man.
Free agency. What do you think? What position you think makes the most sense to attack in free agency? Because I'm a shop right now.
Well, I know the receiver classes. Look at the receiver class real quick.
Yeah,
I think that's decently strong because I mean that's a huge need. Safety too. God Almighty.
Oh man, if we get fucking Kyle Hamilton, bro, I'll nut myself, bro.
He's gonna go in the top. I bet you he ends up going in the top 5. I just don't know if you can justify taking a safety number 1 overall.
No, I wouldn't. I would be pissed, honestly. I mean, I wouldn't be pissed because obviously we do need it, but like, I've never seen that happen in the history of football. Actually,
I think
hold on, we got somebody here might just tell us.
Kent Lee Platt said, "Hey, what's going on?
What up?
What up, Stick?
How you doing, man?
Good, man. Just got we're shopping for free agent wide receivers right now. What were we saying on Morgan, real quick?
Oh, what was I saying?
We're both a little high. We apologize.
Yeah,
I'm on my way. So yeah, man. I mean, if we're talking free agent wide receivers, we got to talk Allen Robinson, right?
From the city too.
he's gonna see. He's gonna want like the Lions will probably have to swing. I'd love to look at Allen Robinson, but he's gonna command some bread.
Oh yeah, his AAV right now is 17.
Yeah, and that's.
I'm the same way. I would love to have him, but like I'm just not cool with paying wide receivers that much. Unless his name's Braylon Edwards. I'm sorry if you're watching, man.
Hey, man, we could get that hometown discount. He's from here.
And it all depends. Not if Jared, not if they if the Lions are going to trot out Jared Goff again for a year. But.
That's the problem. But Jared Goff would probably be the best quarterback he's ever played with. Ironically.
That's true. Yeah, Allen Robinson hasn't really had a lot of. Poor Allen Robinson. He doesn't deserve to come here. That'd be bad.
I know, man.
he just can't hit a. Oh man.
Well, we ain't gonna get a Godwin. We're not gonna get Devontae Adams. Will Fuller was someone I think they were interested in trading it for last year. That was kind of those rumors.
I do remember that.
He's just never available though, man. He's always hurt.
Juju Smith-Schuster is somebody that I may be interested in.
And yeah, he could play.
Well, he just got paid though. Didn't he just get paid by Pittsburgh?
No.
No, yeah, he's just on that.
Wasn't a multi-year deal?
He'll walk. What was I gonna say? Him and Amon-Ra St. Brown would be good together, but then if you're gonna address receiver in the draft, though, then it would have to be a speed, like a burner, because neither of those guys are really, you know what I mean? Like they're good in the intermediate. They're gonna be good blockers, like they're physical, but neither of them are really twitchy and super fast. So
Devontae Adams free next year too.
God, that'd be fun. But yeah, he's also gonna command a lot of money. Yeah.
But I mean, we can't be pussies, man. If we want to go get one of these guys, we got to spend money. Especially because we're in Detroit. These guys, This isn't a desirable destination, so we got to lure them with something. Either take them to a strip club on 8 Mile or whatever.
It's gonna be tough to. Maybe in 2023, like if there's a big receiver in 2023, maybe they can take a stab at it then. But I just don't think they're still gonna be Chris Godwin, Randall as receiver coach at Tampa Bay.
That's a hot take, Steve-O. I like it.
And Chris Godwin's gonna be like, how much money could the Lions spend? I'm looking for like 18 million annual. I'm like, oh shit. That's a lot.
Mike Williams is interesting.
Yeah, that'd be a little bit more like maybe the Lions.
I would love to have Mike Williams.
For sure.
Yeah, he is a free agent. Holy fuck. Yo.
That's where you won't get any pushback from me. That's where I was kind of thinking, like the Mike Williams, like even the Albert Wilson. Albert Wilson, I feel like could be hella productive if you gave him a little bit more.
I feel like San Diego. I'll probably call him that for us, but the Chargers, they might have to keep him because they're not really blowing big money out anymore.
He's been so up and down there, and this has really only been his good year since he's come out, and this is his 5th year in the league. I mean, I've kept tabs on him because I drafted him as a rookie in my Dynasty League, so I've followed him for these past 5 years, like every single game, keeping up on him. And he's got the skill set. He just came out of college injured, and he's never really recovered from that. So maybe we could get him at a discount, even though he had a good first half of the season this year. But understanding that, the guy really hasn't showed out yet, so we may get a diamond in the rough type guy. He's young. He's still young.
That's exactly, and I'm thinking that's where the Lions are going to have to go with how they approach this, because they do have so many. Let's go down I was thinking about this morning when I was walking the dogs. How many holes they're going to have to fill? So the quarterback room, we don't know. Goff is at least going to be here next year. most likely.
For sure.
And if they were going to cut Goff, then they would have to eat. It's like $30 million in dead money. They get it out of the way.
Yeah, they're not cutting them. $30 million is way too much.
If they did, they would have to like just sign a really cheap bridge, like a Tyrod Taylor or like Fitzmagic, or they have a rookie in tow. It's just gonna be
I would
tough.
take both of those over Goff right
Me too.
now.
Me too. 100%. I wish they had gone that route. Running back room. Look at what Flowers gets if he's a June 1st cut. Let me see. It's a lot still, unfortunately.
Yeah, let's not look at that.
Let me see. All right, 2022 cut. Let's see, pre-June. So we save 10 million and it's 12. It's almost 13 in dead.
That ain't bad.
Post June, you save 16 million and only 7.2 dead. So that's a little bit more feasible. Maybe post June 1.
Was it?
And if you post June cut in 2022, so next year, so like after OTAs and shit, it would be 16 million in savings and 7.2 dead.
I'll take that.
A little bit better.
What
running back
do we have in cap space next year? Don't we have like 80 million in cap space or something?
40 million.
It's more. It's like that much in 2023. They
Okay.
like cleared. Yeah, 2022 they have a what was it, Eazy, like 40?
40 million, yeah.
And over the cap's not always. I would say it's probably like 35 because you always got to like shave
Rookies.
a little bit, and then rookies. Yeah, so like really that number realistically is probably like 28 or 30. I feel like.
That's true.
So it's not as little as they had last. Like that's why I told you, Eazy. That's why the receiver room looks the way it does, because Brad Holmes is like, all right, I'm going to try to put this together with bubble gum and toothpicks, and then the shit fell apart with. And no disrespect to Tyrell Williams, I was a little bit excited about Tyrell Williams, but then he got hurt. Rashad Perryman, I did not understand.
That was such a stupid ass signing. Like
they just
signing him before the season, then cutting him before the season. Like, thank you.
And I think he was our highest paid receiver too.
And you know what? He swindled a couple of different teams that way, so it's not just the Lions being stupid with Perriman. Like he got a couple of people because
he got on with the Bucks. He actually got some playing time.
I know the Bears tried. Like everyone's like, we could make it work with the fast guy, you know?
Right. We need speed. We need someone who can take the top off the defense.
Well, it's crazy because like is what Goff needs, for someone to be open as fuck, but he also can't hit him deep, so it's like disgusting.
No, Goff's success comes on the play action pass. That's essentially it, and that's what's confusing to me is because that's our strength is our running game right now. So we should be able to at least get some action off a play action pass, right?
And at that point, I'd probably go back to coaching then.
He's regressed so much though, like, and Campbell said it on his presser. He said a couple of those holdings were on Goff. He straight up said that. And sitting there watching it, I almost think so many of them are on Goff, and a lot of sacks are on Goff because he just does stupid. Well, no, he sits and then he drifts. Like he'll get to like 12 yards in his drop. Like there's nothing for the tackles to do. Like you're trying to get the end or the linebacker or the end to run the loop, right? To like run them off. So, and you'll see the smart quarterbacks, like that's when Brady takes that little half step up, and then you're like, oh shit, he's about to get us. Like, or Rodgers, and Goff just keeps drifting, and then he does that stupid spin out thing. It drives me insane.
Yeah, you can tell Campbell is like,
he's getting
maybe
tired of
one play away from running out on the field and choking Goff. Dude. Like you could tell he's been wanting to throw him under the bus in press conferences so often. He holds back. He does. Like, this motherfucker can't hit anybody that's wide open. That's why we're losing.
He gives him he shields him, but he did say that about holdings, and I thought that was pretty telling. I was like,
oh, if you read between the lines, he hits them a bunch. Like he hits them all the time. Like the play call was there. We had guys open. You know.
Yep. Yeah. Michael Gallup. Yeah, exactly, Steve-O. That would be like a little more.
Fuck, actually.
Yeah, Michael Gallup would be legit. I would like.
He's not like a number one to me.
No, but I think the number one. I think the Lions' number one is going to come. It's going to be one of those first three picks. Either number one. Let's say the Rams pick is like number 23 and number 33. It's going to be like one of those three picks, in my opinion. You know,
they designate Jared Goff to that early June 1st cut and save $20 million.
Early June in 2022. Let me see.
Not sure.
Well, yeah, we only have him signed through next year, right?
No, we have, I think, 3 more years.
No.
No, they voided those years easy. It's like 5 million. It's that cap gymnastics.
Oh, okay.
So like those.
Oh yeah, because the guaranteed money is paid by them.
Yeah. So like there's like 3 voided years at the end of his contract where they're going to be paying Jared Goff like $5 million to live in California, which is, hey man, good job.
Jared Goff's going to go be a great backup in Indy.
He's going to be a backup for a while. I do agree with you there, Stick. I think he's going to and he's going to be a fine backup. Like, hey, come in and don't let the wheels fall off on a good team.
And I got to tell you, I know me and you have never really met, never really talked about this, but I've done a complete 180 on Goff. Like, when we got that trade and it went through, I only saw upside in him. Like, listen, man, like Jeff Fisher didn't do shit with him. Then McVay brought him along, and they're casting him aside. It's a 26-year-old. He's been to a Super Bowl. He plays injured. Like, what more do we want as Detroit fans? And I think we want a lot more as Detroit fans. I've come to find out, and I was dead wrong on that assessment.
I mean, a lot of people felt that way too, and I understood. But man, I watched a lot of when the Lions traded for him. I was looking at a lot of his film, and I was like, "Oh my god, dude!" Like,
I never thought he was good.
That's why McVay. I mean, he was good when, and it was tough because he was good when Todd Gurley had that. Todd Gurley had that unprecedented run, man, where he was like. It was like one of the better runs as a running back in the modern era.
If he didn't bang up his knee that year, he would have won an MVP.
Yeah, man, exactly. He was eating, and that's when Goff was like looking really good because that it was easy.
Right. But you look at that team, and they only had like the 15th ranked defense in the NFL because that was that was an argument a lot of people threw at me when I was like, no, Goff will be fine. They're like, well, we don't have the defense the Rams do. And it was like, look at this isn't the Rams team today that was number 2 defense last year. These guys were only 15th in the league when Goff was taking them to a Super Bowl. So it's not like he needed that elite defense. He just needed that elite running game.
With that, they were, I think, either second or first in turnovers. So
that's even tough to sustain too.
Yeah, in terms of rankings, they weren't there. The turnovers, that gives your quarterback great ball position. You know what I'm saying? Field position to have fucking great stats. So it looks sweet.
Yeah, fair enough.
Oh no, yeah. There's no way that we can cut Goff yet. I knew that was wrong. I was like, no way, dog.
Oh yeah, it's
look at that deck.
You looking at it right now?
Yeah, that's tough.
30.
You could that's what I'm saying. You could do it next year, but it would have to be cheap. Like you would just have to be cheap in his because then you're designated. And I think the Lions still have a little bit of dead money from the Stafford trade too. To be honest with you, in 2022, like the last little bit of it. So you'd be having like $40 million towards the quarterback position. You know what I mean? And that's when it's tough. That's why the Lions are so terrible now, is because they have 60-some million in dead cap. That's why I try to tell people dead money allocated to players not even playing for their team, and that's why they have. That's why it looks the way it does right now.
You think there's anybody dumb enough to take his contract on a trade?
No,
I don't know. Because he's put out so much bad tape now. You could have maybe swindled someone before the season started, but no. Now it's everyone's no. There's too much tape.
Too much
that
tape.
Thanksgiving, man.
Too much
yeah.
Way too much bread.
I know. All we need out of him over this last 6 weeks is for him to show that he's a serviceable quarterback. But I don't think even if he shows he's serviceable, he's going to take a $30 million contract.
No, because that's the thing. If he was making $10 million, you don't complain because the circumstances are tough right now. The receiving group, it's tough.
That's why I was like, give me Boyle. If someone's gonna suck dick, at least let me know if this guy has the potential to not. You know what I'm saying? Let's just see what he's got.
Boyle's so bad, man. I was like, oh my gosh. I saw Boyle at training camp a couple times. The best way I can explain it is and I think someone else said this. He throws the ball like he's mad at it. And it goes hard, but
I can see that.
You have no idea where that shit's going. No idea. And I don't want Blau either.
When his college stats got exposed.
What'd you say now?
I was blown away when his college stats got exposed before his first start. I was like, how the fuck is this dude even in the league?
He's got some traits, and people are like, oh yeah, like I don't know.
What
People are wild.
Fuck? And that shit, seeing that and Nate Peterman, I'm like, that Kaepernick shit was fucking like,
exactly. Peterman. Packers reporters. This is why I don't trust some reporters, bro. Because there was Packer beat writers that told like Lions beat writers that Boyle was going to compete with Goff for starting this year. I was like,
I remember. I remember, yeah.
And I went to training camp. Yeah, and I went to training camp like twice, and I was like, these Packers beat writers are smoking some there's no way.
No, they're just super smart and fucking the Lions.
I was like, yeah, exactly.
Like our beat writers got to get a little smarter and start feeding them some false information and get these people the hell out of here.
Dude, it was like a thing too. The Packers were apparently sad that they lost Boyle because like Aaron Rodgers liked them and like all this. I was like, oh my god.
Oh yeah, who the hell cares? What does Love think about him?
There was his what
up, Barry?
His highlight tape was all him kneel downs last year because that's when he was in for the Packers.
Yeah, bro. I fucking tweeted that out. That shit blew the fuck up. I got it from his Twitter too. His Twitter is where I got that video from.
From Boyle's?
Yeah.
That's funny.
So at least he's got a sense of humor.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. Seems like there's some likable guys out there.
So I've been.
What were we doing before?
I ain't fucking remember. Oh, we're gonna golf shit. So we have to, if we kept him in 2024, but we can cut him after next year.
Oh, you're doing needs.
Oh yeah. Needs originally, yeah.
What were you saying before though?
Before that, I don't fucking know.
You were saying something about Steak. All right, running back room.
Oh, this kind of ties actually, yeah.
Okay.
Let's do needs first, actually. We are
running back room is actually one of the ones that's okay. Receiver room, you need at least two, probably three additions. Because who are you going to keep over? You got Cephas, Amon-Ra.
That's it.
Maybe Khalif. Like again, if Khalif is like, if Khalif is like he's cheap and he's like a good special teams player, like wide receiver 4 or 5, like you're in good shape. But yeah, like Amon-Ra, Cephas, yeah. So you need 3 probably.
When Cephas was healthy, he did look good, and we obviously didn't fucking completely hate Jared Goff then. So maybe a little bit of
Cephas is a fucking good player, man.
Yeah, he was getting open for Goff. He was one of the few people who had like any rapport with Goff. Like that was. It was a little bit. He was.
The only reason the Lions got Cephas that late in the draft is because of those 2 dumb bitches that like accused him of raping them.
Oh yeah, and then they just completely said, "Yo, yeah, we didn't do that." No, he didn't.
No, they went to court and everything. They went to court and everything, and the fucking jurors threw it out because he had fucking like text messages from them, like saying this is like literally it was like he was saying exactly what they were accusing him of. Like, you're gonna come over, I'm gonna have sex with you, and they're like, yes, and they're like, well, that's what. Like, I feel so bad for Quintez.
They sent the picture with their ID.
Right, yes, exactly. Like the jury apologized to him.
That stinks. See, and that's I would like him to do well then because. Again, if Cephas is your wide receiver 2 or 3, then that's great. That's good. But they probably need 3. They need to add.
No, Amon-Ra Brown's your 3. Cephas is your 2. Yeah, and you just need a dynamic 1.
Yep, and then depth.
Yeah.
Amon-Ra definitely. If Amon-Ra is working in your slot, I think you're in good shape there too, because I think that's where he's best suited. And then Cephas can do a little bit of both, in my opinion.
Yeah, he's your good possession wide receiver on the other side.
He's big, strong.
Yep.
So, but you need a dog. There's a couple of guys I like a lot. So,
let me ask you this: on the defense side, who's a bigger need, safety or linebacker?
Probably linebacker at this point. I mean, you can help your safeties and your corners by putting good pressure on the quarterback. So, I want to build out the front line and then the people right behind them so I can blitz and, be aggressive. And then help those guys out if they're a little weaker. Make them only cover for 2-3 seconds. But honestly, outside of lineman, tight end, and running back, we need everything.
No, yeah.
True.
When I asked that, I was like, "There's no wrong answer to this question."
No.
Throw it
And
down.
honestly, they need another tight end too, to be honest, because I love Hawk, but you need another. Like Brock Wright's been, I guess, serviceable, but you actually need a tight end too. You know, I still am on. I want to see how things shake out. I know like a lot of people love Aiden Hutchinson, but I'm still a Kayvon Thibodeau guy. I think he can do a little bit more. Like Cephas has a roommate videotape with the girls. They should. Damn. Videotape him with the girls.
Isn't that crazy? Like,
Episode of Black in court.
Golly, man, that's hilarious. Ah, shoot.
it's awful, man. Like what two scheming ass skanks can do to a guy and almost ruin his life.
They went in the 5th round. So hopefully he eats then next year when he's got a better quarterback and better system. But
Kool-Aid!
Hey, what's up, Stick? Easy, what's going on? Morgan, how you guys doing?
how you doing, man?
I'm doing good.
Have you met Morgan before?
I
Follow
feel
each other.
Yeah, I know we definitely
Yeah.
follow each other. So
Yeah, but how's it going? Nice to meet you.
Hey, thank you, man. Nice to meet you too. I love the what's that? The classic Lions flag in the back.
Oh yeah, I got all kinds of stuff all over. This is my little look. I always forget which way to lean. My friend did that. It's Barry. I got all kinds of stuff.
That's what's up.
I see you guys got nice backgrounds too. Stick. I like that painting.
Yeah, it's an octopus. It's
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Stanley.
Hey.
Oh, yo, it actually is cold.
I like that.
That'd be a dope tattoo.
That's
Yeah,
dope.
no, it's a dope painting. There's this chick named Silver, if you want to look her up, and she does some dope ass artwork. We got some other stuff of hers around here.
Someone says KT is an outside linebacker. Hutch is a defensive end. We just signed a core to be our defensive end, and we have Harris at outside linebacker. One's a free agent next year. This pick isn't a mystery.
That's what I'm saying. They're different players. Like I love Aiden Hutchinson. I think he's going to be a fantastic player. I still think he's going to go in the top 5. But Thibodeau you can do a lot of shit with Thibodeau, man. Like similar to like you guys see what Parsons is doing to people.
Like playing coverage and shit too.
Yeah, and like just he's so twitchy and like I think Thibodeau's going to run like a 4, like maybe a sub 4.5 at like 260.
All right, if you ran that, I'll probably because I've been on the
serious.
Hutchinson train or trade back train. If you ran a
I'm
fucking
serious, man.
4.5, bro.
I'm a draft guy, and like this is like these are things I start. I bet you Thibodeau. If not, he'll run like a 4.52 or 4.53 or some stupid shit like that.
I might cut this for Twitter because that's a tease, bro.
I'm telling
That's a
you,
big ass tease.
I really do. I think Thibodeau is that because I was riding high for a little bit too, and you can look at my tweets. Like I was looking at Hutchinson, and I was like, well, shit, they could take Hutchinson 1-2, and like because he can play one tech like over the center, and he can also like play all the way out and like set edges. But as far as like, yeah, I don't know.
When I watch him too, like I see Thibodeau actually use like pass. Not Thibodeau. I'm sorry. I use Hutchinson actually use like pass rush moves. You know what I'm saying, like swimming over guys, bull rushing them. When I watch Thibodeau, he's just more so on the edge and that athleticism. He's just hitting that fucking corner like
he just runs.
Like
If it's not his fault, he can just run past people. Because like I've been thinking that too, but it's not fair to knock him because he doesn't have to do anything else. Because
I'll say one last thing too. Braylon, and obviously Braylon's gonna make the case for Hutchinson. We know that. But
I understand that.
Hey,
Yeah,
go blue.
Yeah. But he did say Thibodeau being in the Pac-12, which is a pass-happy like conference, Thibodeau should have more sacks given the athlete that he is.
But Thibodeau doesn't have dogs like Hutchinson does, like on the D line next to him, like
Jabo on the same other side.
Exactly, like it's just Thibodeau, and it's all like. So I'm not no disrespect to other guys on that Oregon defensive line, but Thibodeau reminds me a lot of Clowney. Dog, I think Thibodeau is going to end up being like they could end up using him like the Cowboys are using Parsons. Just
why are you selling me on this, bro? I was so sure of getting Hutchinson to trade him back.
Thibodeau's going to test out. I think Hutchinson's going to test out well too, but most snaps. Yeah, but most snaps. But you can ask him to do a lot more. Oregon just makes him rush the passer because they know that's what he can do like consistently. He averages like I'm a big per snap guy, and I believe his number like he averages a pressure on 20% of his pass rush snaps, which is
this Thibodeau you talking about?
Yes. That's
absurd. Do you know Hutchinson's by chance or no?
No, not off the top. That's like that's in like some Babe Ruth territory, though. I'm not even a baseball guy, but it's like that's a stupid number. You're like, what? Yeah, what? That's a fifth of his snaps.
For sure, but like, is there a way to like? Can we look up Hutchinson's? Like, is there a website with like?
I'll figure it out and I'll hit you up with it tomorrow on Twitter.
I was sold on Aiden, man. I was sold on him.
I like Aiden. Like I said, I could be wrong. I don't know.
What do you got against the white guy, Morgan? What the fuck, bro?
Nothing, man. I think, and a lot of people I respect too have said that he's like the long lost Watt brother.
I would love for that.
You know Nick? Do you follow Nick Baumgartner Kool-Aid?
Oh yeah, definitely.
So I really respect Nick Baumgartner's like just football prowess, and he said that he thinks Aiden Hutchinson and Dan Campbell are going to be like best friends. Like when they meet in the draft process, like Campbell's like going to invite him to come like live above the garage. They're
they're going to go hunt.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like
great fucking point.
That they might hit it off, and like I could be wrong, and Hutchinson could go on overall, but I don't know.
I love you. Hey.
Yeah, you can't go wrong either. Like if you get a Bosa or you get a Parsons, like either way, it helps the Lions immensely.
That's what I'm saying. Like we can debate this all day, and it's good.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not going to complain. What is Kayvon's history? He's had an ankle injury this year, and I really think he's kind of just been nursing it, just because he kind of knows he's about to get some cheddar. You know what I mean? Like he's not trying to
see that.
Yeah, similar to Michigan and Michigan State players of the past. Yeah.
Right. It's just like. I'm not knocking anybody for making sure they get their money. So
yeah. I feel like the coaches of today actually encourage that, the college coaches. I remember there was a time when it was kind of frowned on, but in recent years, I remember Harbaugh and even D'Antonio coming out and supporting players who chose to protect.
Yeah, after Jake Butt ruined his damn career.
Yeah, it's better for the program that these guys can go on and have good, successful, long careers. We see Michigan. They'll push you out there if you're a 6th-round pick and then quickly go and say, we had 10 people drafted. And that helps with recruiting.
For sure, 100%. And I'm pretty sure Hutchinson's going to play against Iowa and then play, hopefully, in another game. But, I don't knock anybody if they make that choice.
Oh, yeah, no, at that, like, it's different if they're just playing for some shitty bowl game. But no, if Hutchinson starts sitting out now,
it's too late.
That's a red flag, man. If this kid isn't hungry enough to go after a national championship, then I don't want him.
Yep, I feel you. I like what Funky Lions fan just said there, Eazy. If you pull that back up, because I do like Thibodeau's ceiling is probably higher than Hutchinson's if we're keeping it a buck.
That is a great fucking comparison.
You do know what you're getting in Like Hutchinson has a really developed like set of moves and counter moves when he's pass rushing. He understands playing with leverage. I'm sure he's going to probably be contributing. So I do like that comparison.
With the Lions' history of draft busts and like the Trey pick on a like, I kind of would be straight with trading back, just fucking cleaning up.
Yeah, but it's going to be tough because there's no quarterback this year. Because you know what I mean, like that's the whole appeal.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the Lions would be trading that thing.
And there's so many pass rushers in this draft too. It's like,
what you say?
You want Kmart? Oh yeah.
It's not like we can't fuck up the 10th and the 12th pick.
For sure. Yeah, that's true.
But I like Holmes' draft class. Like I'll just look at the value we're getting out of like Amon Ra. You can debate, he's just there because we need him because we have no receivers. But like, when I watch Derek Barnes play, like I'm excited, bro. He pumping people.
He's fast too.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's fast with a purpose. It's not like some of the pass linebackers who are like overrun the tackle,
just running for no reason. Yeah, Barnes and Tracy Walker, man. I really am excited to see what they'll look like when they have like more competency next to them, especially Tracy, because right now it's so tough watching Will Harris and Dean Marlowe play safety. It's so bad. Like, cause I watch all the home games like right there in person, and I'm just watching it like, oh my God, man, you guys are slow. You see everything slow. Like, it's just there's reasons like the Lions allow so many big plays.
Yeah, but yet our defense is like the only thing that kind of holds this team together. Like,
our
defense at least keeps it.
I called that preseason
holding
too.
2 scores.
You were, yeah, you did say that, Easy. I kind of did too, just because I was high on Aaron Glenn, and I heard whispers, honestly, from like guys I trust in football, like on the beat this year, that like they're like, yo, this offense might be terrible, like terrible.
Yeah, I think pretty much everyone was like that too. Like when I seen Dave at the one golf outing we went to stick. I forget what it was for. I think it was
the DMSA, the Detroit Media Sports Association.
Yeah, Burkett and all those guys there. So I get to ask them like, hey, Justin Rogers too. Like, what do you guys think? And it's like,
Justin's like the best in my opinion. Well, like we have a really good beat, but Justin's so good, man. I feel like I feel like Justin's the one who's like gonna step into like Killer Kowalski's like footsteps. You know what I'm saying? Like as like the long time, dude. I don't know. That's just the way I see it. You guys remember that, like reading his stuff as a kid, right?
Stick was just actually at an event for him, weren't you?
Yeah, they're doing a charity event in Kiko Harbor for him tonight, for Killers Cares, and they donate to kids, and like a bunch of celebrity bartenders were there tonight. Braylon was bartending, Ryan Armani, Maz from our network were there, but like Drew and Mike, Drew was out there, and Brandon from his show. White boy Rick was bartending.
Oh yeah, he's out, isn't he?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's what happened in the summertime.
Our old buddy Sean Belesian was going to be bartending.
Yeah,
the dudes that run Hardcore Pawn were out there, bartending.
That's
so
hilarious.
It was cool. Tommy the Hitman Hearns was bartending.
Yeah, that's the one you said. I was like, fuck, man, I'd love to just get a picture with that guy.
Yeah, and then they had this big like auction for memorabilia, and like I got outbid immediately. Immediately.
What were you trying to get?
I was trying to get the Joe Montana autographed jersey. And then they had a Triple Crown Miguel Cabrera picture that I really wanted to, but like I put down like $300 for the Joe Montana, and I come back because it's a silent auction. It was already up to like $600-700. I was like, man.
Guess not then.
Yeah, like it's not that serious, and I don't have that money.
Yeah.
No, I get you. That stuff's fun though. But yeah,
but Killer was the man. Killer was the man.
Man.
I worked with him at iHeartRadio in Detroit for a while. He worked at 1130 The Fan, and we were down the hall.
Hey.
When did he pass?
That's cool.
I want to say about 10-11 years ago.
I was going to say, because I'm not as familiar with the name.
I mean, I just grew up reading his stuff, like obviously Mitch albums, like all the.
Mitch is an incredible writer.
Yeah.
Yep, and I grew up on the Fan, man. WD a fan. I grew up on it, so.
Yep.
Sheesh. Back when it was what, Stoney and Wojo show?
Yep, Stoney and Wojo, Parker and the Man.
Yep. I remember those.
Yeah, Rob Parker used to roam the hallways and shit like that, and then near the end, like Shep was on it, so I got to know Matt Shepard really well, stuff like that. Like he's a good guy. Like it's crazy to think about all that, and then like what else is crazy is I worked with a kid on the Top 40 side because I worked at Channel 955. There's a kid named Javon Hollywood. He passed away, and then like a month later, Killer passed away. So like two big hits to that media building it was just such a weird time. But yeah, they're doing good things in his name, man. They were raising like 50,000, 100,000, 150,000 a night. It was
so dope, man.
Yeah, it was great. So
that's the type of shit you want out of life. I'm saying like to be remembered afterward.
Who's the man? Good stuff.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought him up. That's great.
Yeah, I always try to like think about, that's what I think about, because Justin's like really analytical, but I mean we have a bunch of good people on that. That's what I think. That's who I brought up was Nick Baumgardner, who was talking about you can't really go wrong, like circling all the way back Hutchison or Thibodeau, in my opinion. Like, it just depends on what you want.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. Like we got the hot blonde or the hot brunette.
Yeah, and the lines need help everywhere. So you really people are probably going to make a case like Kyle Hamilton can't lead. Do you guys follow Math Bomb? Can't lead Platty. Like he does like Raz, like the relative athletic, like for Pro Football Network. Pro Football Network.
We talked about it earlier.
Really big draft net, and he said Kyle Hamilton's the best safety they've evaluated in like 10 to 15 years. Which is impressive. So like that's probably going back to like Palomalu. Maybe.
Oh God, I would love to have that type of safety.
I know, man. Like put him next to Tracy Walker, and then all of a sudden.
His nephew's coming out this year.
Really?
Fourth or fifth rounder. You know.
Those Samoans, man.
I wouldn't mind having a Palomalo back there just to fucking see what happens.
I wouldn't mind. What year is Noah Sewell? Panay's brother.
I would like him too. I think he's the year after next year, 2023.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say because he's one of the best linebackers in football right now, so could bring all the Sewells over here. Just move them all over.
Just have a little Samoan trade.
Yeah, man. Why
Do
not?
the haka dance before every game.
I'm with it. I love that culture.
Eazy, are you still at the studio?
Yeah.
My dog.
Bro, I just realized that.
Yeah, me too. I'm like,
I saw the
wait a minute,
cabinet over the
Easy's
right
house
shoulder.
Easy's house looks a lot like the cabinets at the studio.
Yeah, over the
I
left
actually
shoulder,
just
actually.
sleep under the table now, so I'm playing.
You got a Naruto hoodie on?
I don't watch the show, but the hoodie was like dope, so I had to.
Yeah, that's fire. I started it recently.
I can't get into anime, man. I've tried.
Really?
Not that I tried yet.
Yeah, man. Do you need to get going, Easy?
I probably should, but if you guys want, I could still leave and you guys can stay on, and I can end it like while I'm on the road or whatever. Don't matter to me.
Up to you, bro. What time is it? 8:36. Got about
Pistons
24
start at
minutes to the
8:30.
Pistons. Not 9, because they're on that West Coast trip.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't even know if I want to watch that game tonight, man.
I'm going to just because the
I'm
last one I
scared.
didn't. I went to sleep and the Cade dropped 26, and I was pissed because I've literally watched every game. And
Yeah, I guess watching him and Chris Paul will be fun to watch.
yeah,
Hopefully-
that's not expecting a dub for sure.
right.
No, not at all. Not at all. I'm interested to see how Killian's defense is against that backcourt, though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
is Book playing? I hope not.
No.
He's
Oh.
sat out one or two games, right?
Yeah, he's out.
If he sets it, makes it at least like not as uneven. So, that's what I.
So we'll lose by 15 instead of 30.
Man, I know it's tough. I was just thinking about that today. I'm like, damn, my football team and my basketball team are the worst in the league.
Yeah, it sucks, but it's from different perspectives too. I mean, even with the Lions, man, I look at it a little bit differently than years past.
Me too.
Knowing that the Lions and the Pistons are actually committed to rebuilding the right way. They have competent people in the top, in the front office in both organizations. And I mess with both coaches. I know people got questions about Casey and about Campbell, but what I realized both organizations are trying to do more than rebuild or restore is create a program. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to create a program. The Pistons, you can see it even more intently with them bringing the G League right to Detroit.
Hell yeah.
Players are getting dropped down and been brought back up every single day. And that's what they're trying to do. It's not even about the wins and the losses. It's about who fits the program right now. And every now and then you get gems like Cade that come right in. And it's going to be an article about it on Woodward Sports soon. But the fact that we should be a lot more excited about Cade Cunningham and what he's actually doing.
Oh, I'm over the moon. I'm always been like a big picture guy because I knew this year was going to be tough, to be honest. And it's been a little tougher when they lost Kelly Olynyk because I mean, no disrespect to Trey Lyles, but they're having to play Trey Lyles at the 5 for like a lot of time, like a lot of minutes, and that's tough. They got no size. They get beat up by some of these teams like with size, so there's just not really much you can do. So I'm just looking at I want Sadiq to get on track, and I'd like Isaiah to like start shooting a little again, like he was last year. Like incorporate the 3, and that's all I'm really looking for.
He stopped shooting the pick and pop. Like this year, Stu stopped shooting the 16-footer, like the classic Anthony McDyess shot. He just stopped shooting it this year.
I don't know why.
I don't need. And I noticed. I think someone told him drive. He'll get it. You'll see him take a hitch, pump fake, not even a real pump fake, and try and drive down the middle. And I notice players, and I'm telling you, when you see players consistently do something to another player, it's game plan. People are literally just putting their hands up when Stu comes into the lane, or they'll jump straight up. He's hitting their body. He's not even getting the calls or anything like that. And I think it's frustrating him because he is getting hit. But if players know a certain way to take a guy out the game, especially if they're working on things. Like if I know Sadiq Bey is not shooting a 3, he's going to pump fake and drive. He's going to pump fake and try one dribble, pull up. I'm just going to wait for him to do that. And it's like, look at the nuances of it. You'll see Stu, like if I feel like they're working on specific things, mandate maybe from coach or front office or from development, because they don't look like they did last year. They don't look like they're just playing to their strengths. Sadiq Bey and Isaiah Stewart played to their strengths. And to the credit, Killian Hayes was kind of put in the same box that I believe Sadiq Bey and Isaiah Stewart are, but it actually is playing to, I think, to his NBA strength. He's playing a lot better.
I've been happy with Killian.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah, I'm not concerned about Killian at all. I just find myself this year, like, I don't know. Last year, I was more entertained. Like, I was more into it for some reason. And we were talking about it today on the show. And, like, I think the reason is this year I had expectations. Last year I didn't have expectations. It was like, this team's not great. They're all young, like we don't have any vets. It's not by the time they traded, out D Rose and they traded out Blake, like we were left with just like, all right. But then they turned into something. It was fun as hell. It was like, oh my God, this Beef Stew kid's fucking great. Like, but this year I thought they were going to be like competitive.
Yeah, they didn't take the right steps forward.
Yeah, and I just feel like they regressed. It's weird.
I think it'll be more like watchable. Like I've been watching every game. I think it'll be more watchable when Sadiq and Isaiah get back to what they were doing, because Sadiq's just not shooting well and Isaiah is just having like a couple bumps and bruises. He missed a bunch of time with that ankle injury, and then I think it's kind of like hampered like maybe a little developing his game I didn't have any expectations for the Lions. I thought the Lions would have at least won a few games by now, but then when Frank Ragnow was hurt and Romeo Quara was hurt and like all the wheels started falling off, I was like,
Quara got hurt.
They've lost several games due to like historic field goal losses. So I'm just like
I'm not tripping about the Lions anymore. Like at least they got that tie. Like at least the Lions are gonna go and say no shit. I'm being dead serious when I say that too. Like I'm being dead serious. But the Pistons, I mean, I just want to see like a little bit of progression from the young guys, and they're gonna keep taking these L's for sure. Unfortunately, it'll get a little better when they get Olynyk back, because right now, man, like you said too, Kool-Aid, like they're small. Like what are you gonna do? Like you got Trey Lyles out there, like because when Stewart comes out, he's their only
great 4. So how the fuck can you play at 5? Man?
That's the thing. All of them are 4s, man. I don't think we realized how much the Plumlee loss was gonna hurt.
I was just gonna say that. Plumlee, Mr. Triple Double, baby.
Mr. Rapper.
I know, Rapper. They need a big, like if they can, if Stu's your 4, like moving forward, that would be legit. And he develops like a little bit of like to be a stretch 4, then you're cooking, because like he's sort of like he's not even like a real rim protector. I love Beef Stew. I got the Sauna shirt and everything. I got a Beef Stew jersey, but my man isn't a real, like he's not a real rim protector. He's not a lob threat, really.
Yep.
Bring us Chet, man.
You're telling the truth.
Chet, I like Paolo after that last, like when I saw them go ahead. How tall is Paolo? I'm gonna see, because
I think he's like 6'8".
But all year, bro, we were told Cade was 6'8" last year.
Yeah,
now he's 6'6".
He's
so
like
I don't
6'6",
trust.
6'5".
So okay, so Paolo says 6'10", so I'm gonna assume he's 6'8".
Yeah, that Cade shit. I was low key. If you seen actually, Slick, I was on the hook the day after, and I asked that to who's my man Kool-Aid, the Pistons, right? I can't think of his name right now. Oh my god.
You said what? The Pistons, right? Who? Rob Beard?
Yeah, Rob Beard was on. I'm like,
Rod, yeah.
Yo, what's good with Cade? He's supposed to be 6'8", and he's like almost the same height as Killian.
Yeah.
He's an inch taller than Killian, maybe.
So I remember he said the whole Pistons world on fire with that tweet from practice. Like, yo, he is barely taller than Killian right now.
Yeah. He did. And this isn't like a Miss Scouty thing with the Lions. You're like, yo, they don't do the research, they don't do the homework. This is like the entire fucking like everyone was.
Yeah, no, this is not a Darko thing.
National
where,
media,
a few people do it all.
Yeah, So we'll assume. So it says on Google here, Paolo is 6'10", 250. So I'm gonna assume he's 6'8", safely.
6'8" and 220, 230.
6'8", 235.
They say he's 250.
He's big. Chet. I think Chet is like that's another example you can't really go wrong, Chet or Paolo, but it's another
7 foot
example.
110.
I just never seen anything like Chet other than KD, and I'm not trying to assume anybody's KD because he's fucking amazing.
No, I
You know what I'm
know,
saying?
man.
Mm-hmm.
I think Imani Bates is probably closer to for me at least, to a Durant skill set than Chet is at this point.
Bates didn't really stand out when I was watching that Memphis game the other day. Like,
Yeah.
Who was he on?
he's like one of the guys. You know, Chet
Mhm.
just looks like that dude.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that too.
That's good too.
Yep.
They're good.
Yeah, Imani has the skills, the tools, but it's different when you're doing that stuff against grown men.
Yeah.
Or prep school people. It's different. It's like there gets to a point where you're so good in high school to his level, where it's like you're just shooting over practice brooms and going around cones.
Yeah.
You get around. I'm afraid he's playing now
Yeah.
the best competition he's ever played, and I think it's messing with him a little bit. He has the skills, the tools to, to obviously get come back from it to put up more of what he was showing in high school, but he's gonna have to figure it out quick.
To the comment, I mean, there was a dude named Sean Bradley. Look him up if you don't know who Sean Bradley is. He was built just like Chet and couldn't handle the ball, couldn't do shit, but all he could do was block shots, and he was very good at it.
Sean Bradley was huge. Wasn't he 7'6"?
Yep.
He was some huge. Yeah.
Yep. Big dude.
How tall's Chet?
7?
9'11".
He does look huge though.
Dude, he's so crazy watching that lengthy dude like dribble the ball up the it's just so weird to watch him play, but he's been effective because I questioned him in high school. I'm like, who is this kid? Like there's no way this dude's sweet. No, he's sweet. He's better than anybody I've ever seen.
It says he's 7 feet.
Jesus.
Then there's this Victor Wembanyama kid.
Sean Bradley was awesome in Space Jam. He was.
I said the same thing about KD and Giannis. True, they were both developmental too. Like, actually KD was pretty good right away, but Giannis took a while, man. People kind of forget.
He was rail thin too at the draft, though. You can pull up Giannis's draft pick, man. He looked like a baby.
Giannis looked, yeah, exactly. He looked like Giannis had like a Sekou era for a little bit there, where he just was like good for like some highlight dunks and stuff here and there. But he wasn't Giannis right away. I think people kind of forget that.
No, yeah, he took 3 years.
Took a little bit to get to be where he was.
Yeah, he's no Sekou.
Where is Sekou now, man? Is he on a roster?
I think I
Lakers.
saw him.
He got released from the G League team.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Damn.
Sadly.
Yeah.
I saw some people going to war on Twitter that it was the Halibrody. What's that Twitter? Hal?
How the hell do you get released from G League? Like I do those games. Like
oh no. That's tough.
To be in the league last year and get released from G League is like a sin.
Bro, not to just be in the league last year. To be in the league last year, and every time you went down to the G League, you were an absolute star. He was dropping 30 in the G League, and now you can't do anything. It's just like, what is going on?
I wonder if he just chilled all last year, like he just did. Like I don't know, man.
I didn't see any discernible improvement or skill set.
Wasted talent is so offensive to me.
It sucks.
Like
wasted opportunity as well.
You took a lotto ticket and lit that shit on fire.
Hopefully he'll get it figured out. Like, because how old is Sekou now? 20?
20. Crazy.
20?
Yeah, 20.
He was already given up on.
Very different.
I mean, he could go bounce, like, he could go do a stint in Europe and, like, try to come back and, like, make it, like, that's definitely
I doubt
feasible.
he comes back if he goes back home, man.
He's going to come back the size of tractor trailer.
Keith, what was that guy's name? Keith the tractor trailer?
Robert
the tractor trailer, you're right.
Oh, man.
You guys remember that player?
Yep. Yep. Sekou, man, that's a case there, because I actually wanted the Pistons to draft Sekou. I thought he had all the discernible skills and everything, but he never knew how to play. You know what? He never knew how to play basketball. He learned the game so late. So when you're in the NBA and they're taking away what you like to do, and now you have to rely on Can you stand in the corner and hit a three? Do you know when to make the backdoor cut? Can you set up a screen that's going to actually take the other person out so you can roll and catch a lob? I just don't think he got the nuances of that down. And people aren't trying to teach you the game. Think about it. They're trying to teach Cade how to shoot differently. They're not also trying to teach him how to play the game.
No, Cade knows how to play the game. Exactly. That's definitely, you're right. That's true. Yeah. Not at this level.
Casey's not trying to teach Sekou. That's the thing people get wrong. Casey's trying to instill a program of play the right way. Yeah. He's not trying to teach anybody how to play the actual game. He'll teach you how to head your game to fit. And players like Sekou, even Luke Kennard, even Bruce Brown, when you look at these players, they didn't actually fit. Like, who were they when you put them in a set? If we go to zone, who's Bruce Brown? And he wasn't really as effective as people wanted to push him. Sekou, when they switched to zone, who was he? You would continue to hear him say audibly, my game isn't just standing in the corner. But, bro, sometimes that's what they will make you do. They make Killian stand in the corner, he's hitting them at like a 40% clip.
Exactly, and that's how you get out of that corner.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying, because Sekou has the handles to be able to operate a little bit from the top. Yeah. But we all know how it is if you've played any sport. If you're not in a rhythm, if you're coming out the doghouse, if you're in a rut, if you're not feeling like you're getting anything, now all of a sudden things you know how to do, they feel harder. All of a sudden the shots are rimming out, your layups are bouncing around and such, your shots are hitting the front of the rim. You know, and that's what I started seeing with Sekou. So the things he actually could do, couldn't do anymore. The things that they were asking him to do, he seemed like he didn't know what to do. Like, I've never heard a player say, they're just asking me to stand in the corner. I'm like, bro, give me the corner three.
I know.
Give it to me, please.
It's the best three in basketball, man. Come on, it's
the
shortest three in basketball.
So it's sad, man. To be released from a G League team, it's just like, man.
Yeah, I didn't know that. That's sad.
I was gonna say, because I didn't think he had gotten picked up since the LA. He might have to go do a stint in Europe. But hey, like you said, that might be okay with him. He might want to do that.
Yeah,
I'd play basketball in Europe for a lot of money. That'd be fine with me.
Hey, take me with you.
Yeah, I would be fine with that.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't Josh Childress like living fucking large? He was like an MVP and shit over there.
Imagine, if you're like an adequate NBA player, you could go to Europe and be an MVP and live in like a.
Sekou couldn't even become NBA Josh Childress. It was just like, dang, man.
Oh, fair fucking point. You about to say something, Stick?
No. I don't know, man. Sekou is just, like I said, wasted talent is so offensive. For all of us who don't have it, to like watch people throw it away, it's just like, man, what an idiot.
With him, is more though, like Brennan was saying, he just started the game late.
Yeah.
Okay, then he was given every opportunity at the highest level with the best trainers, the best facilities. All he had to do was just play. That's it. And not even I'm not mad that he's out of the league. I'm like, but that just shows lack of effort. That doesn't show that he has no skills. I mean, he still can jump. He's still fast. Defense is effort based. So if he wanted to become a great defender, all he has to do is try.
We didn't even talk about. That's a great point. We didn't even talk about the defense.
Right? Like,
he didn't really care a lot of the time.
Athletic, you should be a fucking dog on defense. I mean, that's how Giannis actually fucking broke in. Giannis, defensive player of the year before he's MVP, wasn't he?
Defense and rebounds going absolutely ham.
Right, like look at Dennis Rodman. Like, even though Dennis Rodman could score the basketball, people forget about that because in college, the dude was putting up numbers. But like his whole game was just predicated on being in that ass, like up in your face and getting rebounds. Anybody can do that. It's just nobody tries as hard. Nobody's as crazy enough as Dennis Rodman to go that hard for that long.
Dennis Rodman's a once in a couple generations kind of dude, though, man. You think about him, man. Like his story, is crazy.
It is
started playing at a junior college, worked at an airport, just.
But there's lots of dudes like that in the league,
true.
Why is there not a movie about Dennis Rodman yet?
There needs to be one. He grew 6 inches after 18 or some shit. He was 6'2", and then all of a sudden he was 6'8".
Yeah,
but I get what you mean.
Just try out for the random basketball team? Is he homeless or some shit?
It was a community college. It was a community college team, I believe.
I remember that. But I get what you mean, though, Stick, man. There's guys like Kenneth Fareed who come in and just excel on pure, I'm giving you everything I got. And you could tell the skill and the talent's not quite there. But Fareed tricked a lot of teams for a long time just by playing hard.
Mhm.
I even think Jeremy Grant is still learning how to be an offensive threat. It's just he plays really hard in other areas of his game.
Right.
And those things a lot of times will give you the time and the space you need to develop the other areas. Sekou, I mean, when the pandemic and things hit, I remember one thing that really rubbed the Pistons organization the wrong way is that Sekou dipped and they didn't even know where he was. You know what I'm saying? While the rest of the team came together as a family, I mean, like went overseas, just completely, just left the country.
And
Like,
that's fine, but put in work while you're over there.
That too. But the Pistons was like, he didn't even contact us.
Ooh, that probably pissed
They
Troy
started to
Weaver
do
off.
workouts, and he wasn't even here.
Yeah.
He left for the summer league in the middle of the summer league too. I forgot the wedding or some shit.
That's not a Troy Weaver guy, man.
You're right. You're right. I forgot about that. Easy.
Go, Amari. Go, Amari.
Oh yeah, I forgot that game was on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's that?
Amari Cooper finally caught a ball.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we can dip out if you want. Easy. I'm gonna go get another drink before the Pistons game. I want Sadiq to have I need Sadiq to have a slump buster game.
Man, Sadiq, he's honestly been one of the biggest disappointments to me this year too. Like
they gotta stop dropping. They gotta start dropping though, right? His shots. Like it's just like, I mean, he shot 40%, like 40-some% last year. Like
someone told us like going to that change, they signed John Beeline as their shooting coach or whatever.
Oh my God, that's just come on. I can't deal with that.
I give some credence to the new basketballs they're playing with. I mean, it's different. I know people want to believe or say they're NBA players or professionals. New basketballs,
people who play basketball know,
and harder, like less grip. It's like I get it, but when you look at Sadiq Bey, just look at the game. I believe this is a year where they're like, you know what? We need to get the #1 draft pick, and we need these players to develop skills. So this works hand in hand. Sadiq, I want you, instead of shooting set 3-pointers off the catch and dribble, or off the catch and shoot, or off the pick and roll, pick and pop, we want you to shoot a 3 after dribbling 3 times in a row in someone's face. He's just playing different. So the things we see him doing are things he wouldn't try last year. Same thing with Stu. If they were doing the same things as last year and just missing, I would be like, what the hell?
Yeah.
But since I see them trying to do different things, like Sadiq is trying to drive more, he's trying to post up more.
He's trying to do a whole lot more.
In game.
Yeah. It was
not in practice, not like Andre Drummond shooting threes, 10 of them in a row in practice, and then literally trying it in games, and it's like, stop. Sadiq is actually
selfish sometimes too. Like
super selfish. Drummond is the player that we're missing for this particular team, and he's not here literally because he couldn't play within his skill set. We're sitting here talking about great players who rebounded and hustled on defense. Drummond was regularly in the top 3 in stocks and steals and blocks for East. And there was like no other center that was even in the top 5 or top 10. But then for every block and steal he's getting, he's also trying to dribble from the top of the key.
He wanted to be Joel Embiid.
Like, bro, just play your role.
And
just play your role. The shoulders. the Wolverine shoulders, man. That would get me every time.
Those. It's been a while.
Can you imagine getting posted up with a fucking woolly mammoth?
Oh man, yeah, he does a hairy ass shoulders.
7 foot 280.
Oh.
I never got that, man.
Goddamn.
I never got Drummond with that though, man. The whole aspect of like, yo, I'm a 3-point shooting guard now. It's just like, bro, you're getting 30 in 30 games. You're getting 30 in 20s.
He wanted to be Embiid.
Oh no, Gallup.
Yeah.
Man, fuck you, Gallup. Damn it.
Thank you, Schultz. I need Schultz to catch this touchdown.
I'm about to peace out. You guys have a great night. Nice meeting you, Morgan.
Yeah, you too, man. You as well.
Kool-Aid, always a pleasure.
Definitely, guys, man. Good to see you all.
Yep, have a good one, guys.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
I'll see you guys.
Later, Eazy. Later, Kool-Aid. Appreciate
Peace
you guys,
out.
man.
Definitely.
Good meeting you.
Good to meet you, man. Appreciate you, Eazy.
Oh, we gotta do a basketball podcast. YouTube, that shit. You guys.
Let's do it.
Yeah, let me know, man. You know I'm down.
Hey, let's do it.
See you guys.
All right, guys. Have a good
night.
night.
All right, bros.